What's up, everybody? What's cracking? What's happening? I am back. I know it's been a little hiatus, but your boy's back. Welcome to Real Review. I am your humble but savvy and charismatic and just amazing host, John F. Thomas. Thank you for tuning in. We're going to be talking about Loki, episode 5. So get ready to tune in, buckle up your seatbelts and all this stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and get through all this stuff real quick, real fast. Let's hit that intro and we'll be right back.
It's the real review. It's the real review. It's the real review.
Review. Boom, boom. Hey, what's up? What's up? So welcome back. Again, I'm your host, John F. Thomas. Thank y'all for tuning in. I appreciate y'all so much. Let's get right into it, shall we? Okay, so this is spoiler review. If you haven't seen episode 5, you probably already have, because I've been out of town and I've been doing stuff. I've been really busy, so I'm catching up now. But for those who haven't seen it, watch that, then come back and watch this. If you have seen it, stay tuned. Get your seatbelts in. Let's talk about it. I want to hear your thoughts. Hit the like button before we go. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Where are you tuning in from? Are you tuning in from LA? You tuning in from Chicago? Tuning in from New York? I don't know. Tell me where you're tuning in from. Let's have this combo. All right. So let's get into it. Loki episode 5. So when we tune in, Loki wakes up from being pruned because we thought Loki died, but Loki didn't really die. Loki ended up transporting to something. I don't know if this was like hell or like what was going on. But Loki wakes up and he's looking around and he sees other people who kind of look like him. You have this one dude on the left. I was sitting there thinking, like, is that Thor? Or like, who is this guy? You know what I'm saying? Who is this dude? And you have a little kid version, kind of like has a helmet. You know, kind of looks like that. And then you have like another version of Loki, like let's say classic Loki, but really this is what it is. On left to right, it's boastful Loki, which is the dude with the hammer. The middle is kid Loki, classic Loki on the right, and alligator Loki on the bottom. The regular Loki asks about this too, and they're like, yeah, you know, we don't talk about that. It's you as an alligator. So he's just like, all right, cool, whatever. So he's trying to figure out what's happening. They were like, hey, look, because he asked, am I dead? Like, look, man, you're going to be dead soon. Come on, follow us. And he's trying to figure out, hey, what's going on? It's like, it's no time. Let's go. So he's trying to figure out what's happening. They tell him, like, look, you see that thing over there? It's like this big cloud monster. Almost reminds me of Doctor Strange. Remember when he was fighting against, I forgot the name of the monster at the end of the Doctor Strange movie, but the Devourer or whatever. So it was almost like that. So whatever this cloudy monster touches, it immediately disintegrates it. It's like it eats it and it destroys it. And they're just like, look, man, if you don't hurry up, you're going to be dead. We're going to be dead. And we just being very kind by helping you out right now. So you need to come on with it. So they're going. And while all of this is happening, Sylvie is trying to figure out what's happening. You know what? And she is fighting Renslayer and they're tussling and all this stuff. But luckily, ta-da, Sylvie wins. And it's like, hell yeah, that's what's up. So she captures Renslayer and tries to get information out of her. And she tries to figure out what's going on. Where's the real person behind the timekeepers? Where are the timekeepers really? What's happening here? And it seems like either Renslayer is not really telling her the truth or, you know, because she's like, I don't know. And it's kind of like, you know, are you lying? Are you telling the truth? Like, what's really going on here? And she's basically, I guess, just sticking with this story. Like, okay, cool. And as they're talking after a while, Renslayer is trying to get some information, I guess, from Miss Menace from her, but based on the long story, it seemed like she just calling back up. So Sylvie runs and kind of hides while Renslayer is trying to tell her to come on, like, come on now, come on, it's fine. But basically gets the information that Loki was sent to a void in a sense. So basically everything, all the variants are sent to this void is basically this place at the end of time where everything just stops. Like, we don't know what really happens there. Time just stops. Goes to the end of this. There's a timeline and it stops at the end of here because Sylvia is just like, well, what's here? What's at the end of time? And so that's what Renslayer ends up telling them. Like, look, all the variants are sent there. That's probably where they're at, where they end up dying from this monster thing. It just eats everything. So she's like, all right, cool. So she's like, you know what? Well, I'm going to find out what's at the end of this place, and Sylvie ends up pruning herself. So it's just like, dang. Okay, so she's there. So Renslayer is trying to figure out. She calls up, I think, Miss Minutes, and just like, hey, look, I need to find out what happened at the beginning of timekeepers and all this other stuff. So let's figure this stuff out. So it's just like, all right, cool. And all of that stuff is happening. So Loki is ended up talking, still talking to the other Lokis and trying to figure out what's up. They go to the hideout. He was like, hey man, like how'd you end up, being who you are and all this other stuff? And they're like, man, why are we following this kid? And it's like, dude, this kid is a king. What do you don't disrespect the kid. And basically old man Loki as I think he ended up living the same life that Loki did. The only difference was, like, when he tried to kill Thanos, that whole storyline still played out, that Thanos snapped his neck, but Thanos didn't really snap his neck. Like, he made an illusion so great that Thanos thought it was real, and he hid in the breeze the whole time. So, and while all that happened, everybody thought Loki was dead, but he was hiding out, doing his thing. And years and years and years passed by. When he finally decided to come out, that's when the TVA came out. It was like, hey, you messing up the timeline. So that's when they pruned him. Boastful Loki, he was saying that he beat Thor, and I guess that's why he got the hammer, and he did all this, that, and the other. People don't really believe him, but it's like, maybe he did, maybe he didn't. Who knows? For Kid Loki, he ended up killing Thor that early, and that wasn't supposed to happen. But actually, where they're at, that's this Loki's world. That's his world. So all of the variant Lokis are sent to his world, and that's where this Elias creature is, where it's devouring everybody. And alligator Loki, they're like, oh, what happened to him? I don't know, he ate the wrong neighbor's cat or something. They're just like, who knows the alligator Loki? He's a Loki. And it's just like, oh, okay, all right, cool. So all this stuff happens. So he's trying to figure out, like, look, man, well, whatever the thing is, it's our Loki. He's like, look, we need to stop it. We got to stop it. That way we can find out what's happening, because this thing is killing us off for a reason, right? We got to stop it. So they're just like, yeah, we're not doing that. It's crazy. And while that's happening, some other Loki show up. All other variant Loki show up. One that looks like he has a president, a pen that says "Vote for me," and it's President Loki. So he's like leading the crew, and they're forming a coup. And come to find out that boastful Loki turned on the other Lokis, and it's just like, oh, of course, we Lokis can't be trusted. And so it was like, hey man, all right, so you'll give me the kid's throne, right? And President Loki is just like, nah, change of plans. We're not doing that. He's like, oh, you bastard. So this thing is he's getting upset and all this stuff. But then all the other Lokis turn on President Loki. They're just like, yeah, we were going to be with you, but we want to be the king. Various versions of it. So there's a whole fight. And then alligator Loki jumps up and bites off President Loki's hand. It's crazy. It's insanity. It's bedlam. So our Loki is trying to like shuffle through this whole thing. I think classic Loki is throwing some illusions, to distract other Lokis, while Kid Loki, classic Loki, and our Loki and alligator Loki, while they leave out, and they're just, they're finally on board. Like, look, all right, we'll try to help you fight Elias. This is crazy, but I guess we'll figure out something to do while all of this stuff dies now. So, and he's telling them about, no, this girl, this female version of us tells him about Sylvie. They're like, I want to help her. We need to help her. And so that's all of that, yada, yada. So going back to Sylvie, Sylvie is now in their world. She wakes up and sees Elias about to eat her. And she takes off running. So, oh man, so while she's running, she kind of touches him. I guess the enchantment thing happens, and she sees like a castle, like on the other side, kind of like castle he's protecting. And there's something in the castle she can't really tell, but she keeps running. She sees the car that pulls up, the door opens up, hop in. So she gets in the car. All this crazy stuff is happening. And, all of the, oh yeah, I wanted to show you President Loki. My bad. I should have shown that earlier. I was so caught up in the story. I forgot about showing you President Loki. Let me see. Pop that up. Boop. There it is. So, whoop, there it is. The President Loki. Him and the other variant Lokis. And this President Loki got his right hand bitten off by alligator Loki. Can't trust these Lokis, man. So anyway, yeah. So she hops in the car, and as you drive off, and I was sitting there thinking like, this might be, and sure enough, it was. It was Agent Mobius, Owen Wilson, here to save the day, and he was just like, man, you Lokis or something else. And so they're driving off, and she just like, yeah, we need to go back. I'm gonna enchant that creature. And he's just like, huh? What? And I was the same way, huh? You crazy. How this thing eats everything. So they're like, all right, look, this is my plan. I'm gonna enchant that thing. And just like, man, all right, look, whatever. But I ain't gonna be sticking around for that. So while all this is happening, they finally kind of meet back up, and like they did, Sylvie and Loki cross paths. It's like, oh, there's a car. Beep, 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 beep. While they're out there about to do a suicide mission, which I don't know how. That was the dumbest thing ever. Loki's like, yeah, we're gonna kill it. How? And there's a ship that lands, and he just devours the whole ship, and all the other Lokis are just like, yeah, I don't know about that, Chief. But Sylvie shows up, and other Lokis are kind of scared, like, oh, we're gonna attack the other Loki. No, it's cool, it's cool. And they meet up, and he tells them like, hey man, this Loki's actually cool, everything is good. This is Sylvie, the girl I was telling you about, the girl us. And later on they had like a real cute moment, and he sees that Owen Wilson is still alive. Agent Mobius is still alive. I just want to say it because I love Owen Wilson. Everybody who doesn't love Owen Wilson? But they have like a cute moment where they're trying to figure out there's feelings there, but they don't want to acknowledge it and all this sort of stuff. And he conjures up a blanket and he drapes it around her and all this sort of stuff. It's just like, yeah, go ahead and kiss already. You're in love with yourself. Okay. And there was a question that was asked from Sylvie, because she was just like, how do I know that, you won't betray me? And he just like, hey, look, man, I'm with you. I'm with you to the end. I'm not just gonna leave you hanging like that. So I won't betray you. I've betrayed enough people. I don't want to betray anybody else. And it was like, oh, it's cute. And that was said, but she didn't say I won't betray you either. So I was just like, I don't know. Somebody, because there's a lot of betrayal. A lot of betrayal was mentioned in this episode. Because even like the classic Loki was like, Loki just won't change. Loki just can't be trusted. And so I was just like, keep saying Lokis can't be trusted. Lokis can't be trusted. Lokis can't be trusted. What's going to happen in episode 6? Is there going to be a betrayal? Maybe. I don't know. So, and I'm thinking it might be from Sylvie, because if everybody tuning in, if you haven't seen this, it's spoilers. So again, I'm just letting you know. I'm thinking this might be from Sylvie, because Sylvie didn't say, hey, I won't betray you either. So just like, man, I'm like, Loki, be careful, man. So now they're on their way. I think there was a temp pad. They gave the temp pad to Agent Mobius, and I guess it was from Sylvie. I forgot who it was from. So much has been happening. And he was just like, all right, Loki, let's go back. And Loki like, nah, man, I'm going to stay with Sylvie. He's like, all right, you can stay here you want to. I'm going to go back and I'm going to talk to Renslayer. We're going to have a real nice talk, and about how she just betrayed me like this. Anyway, he's like, I'm out. The other Lokis, you trying to come? And Kid Loki's like, nah, man, it's my kingdom. I ain't going to leave it like that. Classic Loki was just like, I'm here. So whatever. Like, I ain't going. So I'm like, all right, cool. So Mobius goes back by himself. And Kid Loki and Classic Loki are just like, y'all really going to take on the Elias? He's like, all right, bye. Yeah, good luck. And so Kid Loki gives our Loki a blade and like, hey, man, here, take this. Because I don't know what you're going to do to that monster, but you need something. I don't know. So good luck. So they leave, and they got to fight against this thing. Now, look, this is a cloud. How you going to kill a cloud? That's what Loki was trying to do. We're going to kill this cloud monster. What? Anyway, that was stupid. So at least Sylvie has somewhat of a better idea. We're going to enchant it, but everything it touches, it disintegrates, like immediately. Like it just eats whatever. So I was just like, man, I don't know. You can't even touch a cloud. So whatever. So they about to do their thing. Loki is trying to cause a distraction. It's not working because he has this sword on flames and he's waving it like, hey, over here. And the monster's just like, I'm going to eat Sylvie. And Sylvie is just like this close to dying when Classic Loki shows up and saves the day. Goodness good. Classic Loki. He shows up and he starts making the illusions of Asgard, and the monster's trying to eat it because he can't help himself. He's just like, I want to eat all this. And this is probably like his strongest form of magic yet, and it's tiring him out because he's fighting a big monster by creating this huge illusion. And so that's enough to get Sylvie to try to enchant Elias, and she's trying to tell, like, I can't do it by myself. I need you, Loki. And Loki's like, I don't know how to do it. It's like, no, you're Loki, so you can do it. So they hold hands, and remember that variance, that branch that happened. They held hands, and the powers combined. All the powers combined create Captain Loki. I don't know. Anyway, they touch Alioth, and Alioth is about to get enchanted. Alioth kills Classic Loki, which is unfortunate because Classic Loki is pretty dope. And it's a sucky loss. I mean, he could have really done a lot more. Gave counsel to our Loki, whatever, but he's dead. So Alioth is finally, because they think he's blocking. He's blocking. He's the guard dog for this castle. So they finally enchant Alioth, and here is the castle that is now revealed that this Alioth has been guarding, and this is most likely where the real person or persons behind the timekeepers really are. And it's just, man, it's one of them things. It's like, oh snap, it's about to go down. I don't know who's there. You see this light at the top, somebody's there. So whoever this is, they're behind the TVA. Is it another Loki? Is it somebody said Dr. Doom? I don't know why it would be Dr. Doom. I mean, maybe, but that's just really weird, a weird insert. Or is it some people saying, oh, maybe Kang the Conqueror? Who knows? I don't know. Who knows? It could be anybody. A lot of people are saying, it's probably a Loki. And I was just like, if that's the case, this is lame. I don't really like, we had enough Lokis. I'm kind of Loki'd out. I don't want it to be another Loki, because why would the Loki be trying to, push down other Lokis? That's very, very lame. I don't want it to be another Loki. I want it to be somebody else. I'd rather be Kang or have whoever else. And Eugene just said, I have yet to watch the show. I may have to check. No, you definitely need to check it out, Eugene, because this is probably Marvel's best TV show. I know some people are saying they're putting like WandaVision over this, and I was like, WandaVision's cool, but I think Loki kind of tops WandaVision to me. But that's my opinion. So this is a great episode. I feel like everybody needs to watch it. Anyway, and one more thing I kind of forgot. Because remember, B-15, Renslayer was trying to find B-15 and all of this stuff, because Renslayer is still back there in the background because she was trying to kill Sylvie. So Renslayer told Miss Minutes, the little computer thing, she was like, hey, I want you to figure out the beginning of this thing. And Renslayer knows that this isn't, the jig is up, that nothing is what it is. But for some reason, she's still like really fighting for it. So she's like, hey, I want you to go find the origin of this whole thing. And because I want to warn the person behind it. I want to warn them. And it's just like, all right, I guess. Like, what's your end game? Like, why are you so dedicated? Everybody else is just like, I want to go back. You just like, I'm just dedicated to power. I don't like people like that. But it is what you're putting your morals aside just to follow law, just to follow order, even if the order is wrong. And this, anyway. So she ends up talking to B-15, and it's just like, oh snap, she's still alive. She didn't get pruned or killed or whatever. And I was just like, that's good. Our black people still surviving. They ain't really getting killed off like that. That's what's up. Disney, you making small steps. I see what you're doing. I appreciate it. So she's still alive, and she's trying to tell her, like, yeah, what is she after? What is she after? And like, she's trying to find a person behind this. And she was just like, oh, she's gonna do it. Like, well, how do you know? You're like, yeah, because you only want it. You only want it. Sylvie needs it, so she's gonna find it. She's gonna find out who's behind this. And sure enough, they're right there. They're right there. They're at the castle door, about ready to knock. Hello. Who is behind all of this? Why is this happening? So that happens in episode 6. But for right now, we're going to dive into what I think about all of this. What do I think about like the acting and all of this? So let's go ahead and get into it. Acting and casting, what I think about it. So for this on episode 5, I thought it was good. I thought it was pretty good. Everything's still going. There was a lot of information that was given, and it was kind of confusing because there was, a lot. But regardless, just the acting, the casting, the people that the person they cast for Classic Loki was good. Boastful Loki, good. Kid Loki, everybody was good. Everybody was cast was good. The returning cast, they're doing a great job as usual. So overall, I'll give it. Nothing. There was nothing really tear-jerkery about it. Nothing that really pulled my heartstrings too much. Seemed fine. Like with the material they were given, I felt like Tom Hiddleston could have done more. I felt like Sylvie could have done more. But I think the material and they're trying to tie everything up in a neat bow that kind of hindered them a little bit in this episode. But they still did a good job. So I'll give it 3 reels. 3 reels for the acting and the casting. So moving on to what did I think about the story? The story, so that's what I was about to say before. It was kind of confused because there was a lot of information happening here. Like this is basically where the timeline kind of ends. At the end of the sacred timeline, this is where it lands, and everything stops. And it's just kind of like, okay, so how does the timeline keep reset? Like I'm confused, because I have questions. Like how does this keep going in a loop then if this is what happens at the end of time? What happens? I'm not on, so yeah, that was the confusing thing to me. And all the Lokis, and that was cool too. But it was interesting. Like there's nobody else. It's only the Lokis. I guess the Lokis were the only ones mischievous and crafty enough to stay alive. Everybody else is dying. And Agent Mobius, he stays alive. I guess because they have to keep running from Goliath. But overall it was good. It was good. So I'll give it. I give that 3 reels. 3 reels for that. It was a good story. I'm still intrigued. I'm still want to know who is behind the TVA. Who is behind this? Who's doing this and why? It better not be a Loki. I'm gonna be pissed if it's a Loki. So I give it 3 reels. So going into budget and marketing, what do I think about it? Actually, with this, because of this Goliath creature and the alligator Loki and all that, this was really good. Like the effects on here were really good. So I'm not even gonna waste too much time on it. And this is probably the best, actually the best quality I've probably seen outside of what was it, like episode 8 of WandaVision. Well, the last episode of WandaVision that was really good because it was effects heavy. But these effects look a lot better than that. These effects were movie worthy, in this episode, in this one episode. So I was just like, dang. So it was really good. So with that, I'll give it 4 reels. 4 reels for that. So overall, what do I think about Loki in total? Loki episode 5. Monkey, I need some assistance here, please. Thank you, Monkey. Thank you, Monkey. Total for episode 5, I give it 3.5 reels. 3.5 reels is really was better than good. It was good. It was really good. It was better because I would say, well, I guess it was great. It was great because I forgot what I like for four reels, I guess. Anyway, it's really good. It's really good episode. You should watch it. If you haven't watched it, you should watch Loki. Watch all of Loki because it's worth it. You know what I'm saying? You should definitely watch it. 3.5 reels. That's a really good rating. Marvel is killing it. As far as like keeping our interest, this seems like this will definitely have a bigger impact than what I initially thought with the Loki episode. I thought it was going to be something just outside of everything, but it actually is connecting to everything. And inadvertently, it seemed like Loki might be kind of messing up the timeline. Not his fault, but because of all this kind of stuff going on. So it's like, I don't know, a big boss, a big bad, even that allowed Thanos to do what he was doing. So man, this person is even more dangerous than Thanos. I don't know. And thank you, Eugene, for watching this show. Even though you haven't watched the show, I appreciate you. I appreciate that. And for everybody that's tuning in, I'm gonna be dropping episode 6 pretty soon. Maybe today. It depends because I got some other stuff to do. But if you'd like to support this show, this channel, I would definitely appreciate it if you could. If you want me to review something, I'll review whatever you like. For $1, I'll review 1 episode of your favorite show upon request. For $5, I'll review a movie upon request. For $10, I'll review 1 season of a TV show upon your request. All you got to do is right at the bottom, leave your request at anchor.fm/real-review/support. Again, leave your request for your patronage if you want to invest in this show at anchor.fm/real-review/support. It means a lot. Or if you just want to give, some, if you want to give, just to give, you don't even have to, like, I ain't requesting nothing. I just want to give. I appreciate what you're doing. And, you're a hard worker. You're doing a lot. You're reviewing these shows and nobody's asking you to. And I just want to give to you. Keep up the good work. I'd appreciate it. Feel free to give, whichever you like. Thank y'all for tuning in. I appreciate y'all. I have this podcast on different podcasting services. If you listen to podcasts wherever, go and type in Real Review with John F. Thomas. That's Real Review with John F. Thomas. that's where you can find my podcast. It has to say with John F. Thomas because I couldn't just do rear review, which was lame. But it's all good. Follow that. Give me some streams. Give me some listens. I appreciate it. Follow me on Facebook at John F. Thomas, or follow me on YouTube. Same thing, at John F. Thomas. I appreciate y'all, man. I'll see y'all next time for Loki, episode 6. Peace out.